The girl with the blonde pigtails walks down Sycamore Street every afternoon at 3 p.m. on the dot. She rounds the corner, turning away from the safe haven that is Montessori Elementary School, and continues past Mr. Wickham's well-groomed petunias, not once pausing to appreciate their new blooms. She walks quickly and with purpose, quite different from her classmates who loiter near the street corners comparing Pokemon cards and their new backpacks, which still smell of the factories from which they were made not so long ago. But the girl with the blonde pigtails does not have time for such trivialities. As she strides past the Reynolds house, not even glancing up from the leaf-littered sidewalk, her pastel blue gingham dress stops just above her knees, revealing the band-aid that masks one of her many cuts and scrapes. She's obviously self-conscious, as she fruitlessly attempts to pull the hem of her dress further down, but it always slips back upwards. Her arms, although covered by her thin denim jacket, are patterned with more cuts and bruises in varying stages of healing. Her pigtails bounce as she takes the steps up to the big brick house, 2 at a time, only stopping to slip in the door and scurry upstairs. She is the only one home. Mother won't be back from her shift at the hospital until late tonight, and Father, of course, won't be home until much, much later. The house is hers for the afternoon. The small room at the top of the stairs, the one with the pink and white wallpaper, belongs to the girl with the blonde pigtails. Her door is always firmly closed, as she sits behind her desk, working furiously on her homework, in the futile hope that maybe tonight it will be finished before her parents arrive home. Her little pencil scratches away furiously, flying across the page, recording her answers and working out equations at top speed. But it will never be fast enough, for she is competing in a race that she can't possibly win. The clock downstairs strikes 7 p.m., and the girl jumps to her feet. Only 15 minutes left, 15 minutes until her mother arrives home. Her jacket lies on the floor, where she left it earlier, and she grabs it, yanking it on despite the house's warm temperature. Quickly, the girl with the blonde pigtails straightens her room, making her bed and shoving her papers into her backpack, recklessly, hoping that maybe tonight she will make it in time. The front door opens. She wasn't fast enough. Not this time, not ever. Her mother makes her way up the stairs. Her pristine nurse shoes squeak as she climbs the remaining steps, closing the distance between herself and her daughter. The girl with the blonde pigtail sits on her bed, the picture of innocence and childhood. She sits as the doorknob turns and her mother, still clad in her light pink scrubs, enters the room. The girl sits rigidly, awaiting her mother's signal. Her blue eyes follow the older woman around the room, and her breath catches in her throat as her mother turns to meet her gaze. Still silence. The only sign that the girl's mother even notices her is the slight shake of her head as she looks at her daughter with pity. Not good enough. Now it is just a waiting game. The hours tick by as the girl remains in her room until the slam of the front door announces her father's presence. The girl with the blonde pigtails flinches, involuntarily, terrified of what will come. But it happens every night. The punishment for not being good enough, the beatings that no one knows about. Her arms bore her father's anger, his drunken slurs and harsh words, his darkest secrets. Perhaps tonight he won't be as cruel as he normally is. Perhaps she can escape into her world of fantasy before the pain begins, the unending pain. A world where she is loved, her innocence intact, her memories nothing more than summer barbecues and joyful Christmas mornings, unplagued by her father's torture, his sexual advances, his relentless words, his thrashings and bruises and cuts. The girl with the blonde pigtails walks down Sycamore Street every afternoon at 3 p.m. on the dot.